In this video, you'll learn about WordPress updates to the core files and why it's important to keep your site updated to the latest version. There are two levels of WordPress core updates: major feature releases and minor and security updates. Both types of updates can be made to be completely automated or initiated by the administrator, and they can even be automated by the hosting company. By the end of this lesson, you'll have an understanding of how each type of update is referenced and how in some cases it's best to have WordPress automatically update itself, as is the current built-in functionality. Let's start by just taking a look at what the WordPress Codex says about updating WordPress. I'm at WordPress.org and I just did a search up here at the right for updating WordPress. There's a page called Updating WordPress, and it has a little bit of detail that you can read about even how to manually update WordPress, which these days isn't usually necessary. The main paragraph that we'll look at right here is the fact that automatic background updates are now in WordPress built in. Starting at version 3.7, you don't have to apply minor and security updates, and they are set to actually automatically apply in the background. It's definitely a best practice to leave this set as is so that WordPress will automatically apply minor and especially security updates. Now these are referred to with a third decimal place within the version numbers. So if we have 3.7 comes out at a certain time, 3.7.1 will be a security update that can be automatically activated just in the background as soon as WordPress issues it. This is important because when they issue a security update, they may have found a security hole and they want to patch that immediately so that the risk of your site being hacked or compromised is minimized. The next kind of update is called a major feature release, and that would be to a new feature version inside of the version that's currently active. So right now we're in version 4 of WordPress. We just upgraded from version 4.5.3 to 4.6. And now 4.6 was a major feature release. It was put out to add a lot of different features to WordPress, and it's not necessarily a security update. So these major feature releases do not automatically update, but you can use one click inside of the updating area inside of the WordPress dashboard to update your version. On the other hand, some hosting companies provide automatic updates of the major feature release versions of WordPress. Both SiteGround and Flywheel offer this service. In fact, Flywheel has an upgrade schedule that's about 2 to 3 weeks beyond when the new version of WordPress is released. They do this for a reason, and that's just in case there are any errors or security issues that immediately get released. All the sites on Flywheel are as secure as they possibly can be. So now in one of my sites, wildfoodgirl.com, in my Flywheel account, is out of date. It's got the previous latest version, 4.5.3, but the version 4.6 was the newest version released a couple of weeks ago. Now, you can see down here in their message, they're going to be automatically upgrading sites starting Friday, September 2nd, and that's about a week from now. But if I wanted to manually upgrade to 4.6 through my Flywheel dashboard, I could just click this button right here. Inside the cPanel at SiteGround, if you scroll down towards the bottom, they have their special software and services section where they have a special WP Auto Update feature right here. I just clicked it and it's loading the sites that I have enabled at this domain, and I can choose whether I want those to be automatically upgraded along with plugins or if I don't want this activated at all. I could disable auto update right here if I want to. Now, you probably have an old version of a WordPress site that we built earlier in this course, and hopefully you could log into your WordPress dashboard and see that older version and be able to make some updates. I've got our Fireweed photography site open inside of my local development environment, so I do have MAMP running like this. And if I open that WordPress dashboard, I can see this little nag at the top says WordPress 4.6 is available. Please update now, and there's a link there. Also, inside of the dashboard area, the At a Glance widget says what version I'm running of WordPress, as well as what theme I'm running. So right now, pause the video and find an older version of one of the sites that we've created together in this course and open up the WordPress dashboard. Whether it's in your local development environment using MAMP or another service, or whether it's on one of your live hosting dashboards, go ahead and log in to that WordPress dashboard and see what your status is. Once you have your WordPress dashboard open, there are a few places to check out to see information about your WordPress version and what updates are available, including themes and plugins. First, on the dashboard admin bar at the top, there's a little recycle or circular icon at the top that tells you how many updates are available. And this links through to this updates page right here within the WordPress dashboard. Also, you can see under plugins, there's a little indicator that tells me I have 10 plugins that are ready for an update. And we'll be doing that in a future video. For now, let's take a look at the updates page in the WordPress dashboard. And that'll give you a message at the top about the WordPress core files and what version is currently available. Now, I could just click Update Now right now and update that WordPress version internally within my local site. But the first thing you want to do, and this is important, you want to back up your database and files. It's always a recommended best practice before updating any WordPress versions, plugins, or themes that you back up the data and back up the files inside of your WordPress installation. In case if something were to go wrong, you could revert back to your backup files. It rarely happens these days. I haven't had an error in backing up plugins, themes, or the WordPress core in quite a long time, a number of years, but it's always a best practice to keep a current backup on file. What I've done inside my local host, and I'll ask you to do, is to create a full backup that's dated today so that you can always restore that backup in the case that this update goes wrong. The way I did that was I activated the all-in-one WP migration plugin and I clicked export and I saved my export file on my desktop under my live site folder, and I've created a folder called backups. And here you can see the file name of my WPress backup file has the date. And that's today's date and the name of the site right here. So back on the site, now that I have my whole site backed up, including files and the entire database and installation, I can click Update Now. Go ahead and follow along and do that on your own site. Okay, great. I'm greeted with a welcome screen that states the version of WordPress I'm using. There's always a welcome video, and there's some notes about what's been added in these major feature updates. I hope that worked well for you. If you were on your local environment, as I was, it took a few minutes, probably about 3 or 4 minutes, to update to this version. I find that when I'm on a live server like at Flywheel or at SiteGround, the updates that I do from the WordPress dashboard are much quicker. Of course, my server is connected to the internet probably in a faster way than I am at home. One more thing to note, you may get a notification that a database update is required. If you get a white screen inside the WordPress dashboard and it gives you a blue button that says Update Database Now, it's a good idea to do that as soon as possible, and you should just hit that blue button and update the database right away. In this lesson, you learned about the different types of updating that the WordPress core files and database require to keep up with security threats and future releases. I hope you were able to find an older version of WordPress from our previous lessons and log in to update through the dashboard. If not, I'm sure you'll have a chance to update WordPress soon, as they usually release 3 to 4 major feature updates every year. In the next video, you'll learn about plugin and theme updates. These are a little bit different in that themes and plugins are for the most part provided by third-party developers and not from WordPress directly. This means that updated versions should be tested to make sure they work correctly either before or after the update. Let's get to it.